that I want to leave with you today based on my experience, and you'll see that in a moment, is that there is no question that there will be a challenge, the coming administration, in the arena of infectious diseases, both chronic infectious diseases in the sense of already ongoing disease, and we have certainly a large burden of that, but also there will be a surprise outbreak. There will be a surprise outbreak. There will be a surprise outbreak.
It's my pleasure to update you on the progress we've been making here at the facility. Last spring, we took the viral recorder we've been developing and fused it to the brainstem of a dead one. Despite some glitches we're still working out, it's given us the ability to record and transmit the dead's biological responses to environmental stimuli and provided us valuable tracking data that'll help us approximate and predict behavior.
We tried for years, but your father cracked it in 2 months. His mind is truly something else.
The program, while still in its infancy, has already allowed us to collect troves of information. Small variations in brain chemistry, variations in speed implying pursuit behaviors, the effect of weather on movement and awareness, massive amounts of data that'll open the doors to further avenues of research. One of these avenues I've been exploring personally, infecting the dead with strains of fungi that grow on necrotic flesh, is conceivable. If we can modify an existing fungus, then we can one day accelerate the dead's rate of decay, virtually neutralizing them as an active mobile threat. Now we'll hand things over to...
Now, why the world turned.
So you're trying to find a cure?
Pinpointing what inside us makes us turn, whether it be fungal, bacterial, viral, or something else entirely. Sure, that's one part of it. But it's also about finding a way to get rid of the ones who have already turned. By investigating and hopefully discovering what keeps the dead animated, what inside them slows their decomposition rates and feeds their appetite. We hope to one day turn off those triggers, eliminate the dead as a threat, and eradicate them from the earth.
You think that's possible?
I wouldn't be here if I didn't. Don't you?
Just sounds like a fun.
They were willing to kill all of us. So why not everybody back home? Or Omaha?
Wait, you think that the CRM was behind all of this?
Why else would they cover it up?
I don't know. But we're talking 100,000 people here. And you're saying, what, they wanted all of us just dead? Why? We weren't a threat.
Maybe we had something we wanted.
I'll take him. We'll meet at the drop-off. Hey. This'll work.
Everything just fell apart. There was no evacuation
You're wrong.
plan.
There is a colony. I know, okay?
How do you know, Anna?
I just know.
How? I said, how do you know? How could you know?
God told me. He has a plan.
God told you.
Yes.
The God.
Yes. I know how this
It
sounds,
sounds crazy.
but something told me to turn on the radio. Something told me to come here.
My voice on the radio told you to come here, Anna.
You were trying to kill yourself last night, right?
Anna,
And I got here just in time to save your life. Do you think it's a coincidence?
just stop it.
He must have sent me here for a reason.
Good Road is quieter now. We just have to listen. If we listen, we can hear God's plan.
God's plan. Yeah. All right, let me tell you about your God's plan. There were 6 billion people on Earth when the infection hit. KV had a 90% kill rate. That's 5.4 billion people dead. Crashed and bled out dead. That's a 1% immunity. It left 12 million healthy people like you, me, and Ethan. The other 588 million turned into your dark seekers. And then they got hungry. And they killed and fed on everybody. Everybody. Every single person that you or I has ever known is dead. There is no God. There is no God.
Alan Lopez for us, thank you. Joining us now with more is Dr. Julie Morita, Executive Vice President of the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation. Dr. Morita, good morning to you. It's good to have you. So we did get some encouraging data on the Pfizer vaccines for kids ages 5 to 11, nearly 91% effective against symptomatic COVID. Do you anticipate this will be authorized quickly? And what stands out to you about the safety and potential side effects here?
Good morning, Whit. Thanks so much for having me again. Yeah, I mean, this is really an exciting time for us as we think about the disease activity decreasing right now, but then having a potential booster available and then potentially a vaccine available for 5 to 11-year-olds. The process that we follow for vaccine recommendations and approvals is really a strong process. So next week, the FDA Advisory Committee will be reviewing the data regarding safety and efficacy of the child vaccine. And then the following week, the CDC's Advisory Committee will do the same thing. If the data prove the vaccine really are truly effective and very safe, the FDA will authorize it, and then CDC will follow with the recommendations for who should get it and when they should get it as well.
So a lot of parents are still hesitant to get their kids vaccinated, even those who are generally pro-vaccine. And Pfizer's clinical trial was much smaller than what we saw with adults, just about 2,300 children involved. What's your message to parents still on the fence?
So as a pediatrician and also a parent, and also someone who spent a majority of my career working on immunizations, I understand that parents have questions and concerns about vaccines, regardless of if it's a COVID vaccine or other vaccines. I think the key thing to keep in mind is that there's millions of children who've gotten sick with COVID. There's thousands who've gotten this severe inflammatory disease, and hundreds of children have actually died. So we're talking about prevention of serious disease. On top of that, if people have specific questions regarding their own child's eligibility or the appropriateness for it, they should really talk to their healthcare providers. Pediatricians, family doctors, those who care for children have trusted relationships with their patients and their parents. And so having those conversations will really help to reassure them about the safety and the effectiveness of the vaccine.